I'm Steff and welcome back to my beauty stash. I have a new camera lens going on, so this is going to be a really zoomed in up close video because today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite essential small eyeshadow brushes. So I have 7 brushes here that I cannot wait to show you guys exactly how to use, how I use them, and why I think they are worth the small investment that they are. Guys, I have brushes here from BH Cosmetics, ColourPop, Morphe, and e.l.f. And you guys know that those are all super affordable brands. So if you're just beginning with makeup, maybe you're just beginning with colorful makeup and you feel a bit overwhelmed with everything. You're not too sure how to blend. It's too much pigment. You just can't get it right. Using small makeup brushes will make the entire eyeshadow process that much easier. Trust me on this, guys. When you work in smaller sections, when you work with a smaller amount of shadow, you can really achieve the blend and placement that you're looking for. I have found that these 7 brushes, and I have 2 more honorable mentions as well that I'll leave at the end of the video, have helped me so much, guys. And I cannot stress this enough. If you're just starting out with makeup, especially, you know, diving into the colorful world of makeup, start slow. Start small, pace yourself, and then you can slowly start adding different brushes to your collection, trying new techniques. But I think these are great beginner makeup brushes. So I can't wait to share them with you. If you want to see this look I created using these brushes right here, keep on watching. And the palette that we're going to use today is the new one from Huda Beauty, and this is the Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette. I did review this already on my channel, and I'll have that linked up above if you want to check that out. But I just chose this palette because the matte shades are really good, and then there's just a lot of different formulas in here. That way we can play around with them and you can, you know, see how these brushes perform with certain shades, okay? So I'm going to go in first. We're going to kind of keep it, well, this is a neutral palette, right? So the first shade I'm going to go in with is this shade right here, and this is Naughty. And the brush I'm going to use is this little brush right here by Morphe. You'll see that it is small, does have a little bit of a point to it, and this is the Morphe M507 brush. Now I'm just going to start placing this in the crease and kind of blending it upwards and also along the outer edge. Now you'll see that this small of a brush allows me more accurate placement, and it doesn't allow the shadow to get away from you. It's really easy to blend and kind of keep the shadow exactly where you want it. In my case, I want it in the crease, but I also want it slightly above my crease. Now, if I was using a bigger brush, a more fluffy brush, something like this one from Morphe. This is the M441 brush, which is typically what you see people using to get that transition shade down. You don't necessarily need to do that. Don't feel you need to use the same brushes as everybody else. Starting off small is gonna really help those of you that are especially just starting out with makeup, and maybe you're trying, you know, some colorful makeup. Maybe you're always used to doing neutral looks, and color can be a little bit intimidating sometimes. Reaching for smaller brushes is definitely gonna help you get the blend that you want without letting it get out of control. All right, guys, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I wanna deepen up my outer corner. And for that, I wanna pack on some darker shadow. I'm gonna be using this small little packing brush right here. And this is from BH Cosmetics. This is the number 6 brush. It does come in a set, and this set is on sale right now. So it will be linked in the description box down below. I'm gonna go in with the shade Spicy. Place that first. I'm not necessarily worried about blending right now. I'm just placing it. Blend it out in a bit. Now I'm going to take this small little blending brush. This is the Detail Crease brush from e.l.f. And I'm slowly going to kind of blend that into the outer corner and just up a little bit into the crease. Now, since I want the shade to really be the darkest point on the eye, I'm not going to over blend, because the more you blend, obviously, the more sheer the color becomes. And you'll see that I'm just keeping it right here in the outer corner, and this size of a brush really allows me to do just that. I'm actually just going to pick up a little bit more of Spicy on this brush. Just make sure I have a nice dark outer corner here. All right, so we've already used 2 brushes. Now what I want to do is I'm going to do some work on the lower lash line. And I have a couple really good brushes for doing lower lash line work, and they are both from Morphe. Let's start with this one right here. This is the Morphe M431 brush, and I like it because this is like a pencil brush. It has a little point on it. This is perfect for just adding color to the upper or lower lash line, and definitely getting into the inner corner and for highlighting the brow bone. I love this other smaller brush. This is the Morphe E36 brush, and you'll see it's also a very small brush, but it has more of a rounded tip. Now, I do use both brushes interchangeably. When I want more of like a smoky lower lash line, I will go in with the E36, which is one that's kind of rounded at the top, and then I'll save this one when I want more accurate placement, like again, the inner corner, the brow bone, just because it has that little tip on it. So I'm gonna go in with the E36, which is the one that has the rounded edge, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Untamed right here. I'm just gonna kind of take that halfway, connect it to the top. Now I want the inner portion to be a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Filthy right here. And I'm going to use the other brush. This one has the tip on it. This is the M431. I'm going to start running that right here on the inner corner and kind of meeting it with the darker shade. I'm also going to drag it a little bit under the shade we just laid down, just to kind of soften up the edges. Now let's start playing with some of the shimmer shades in this palette. Now I'm going to jump into this gorgeous shimmer shade right here, and this is the shade Irresistible. Now I'm going to use this brush from ColourPop. This is the ColourPop E3 brush. This is a little flat brush. Usually they call this the concealer brush. This is the type of brush that I typically use with shimmer shades, metallics, duochromes, even some pressed glitters. And I do oftentimes end up spraying this brush so that the shimmer shade that I'm applying can get maximum payoff. And Irresistible is a really creamy shade, probably better applied with the finger, but we're going to be using the brush today. And I am just going to spray it. I'm going to start applying that on the inner corner. Since this brush is small, I can kind of carve out my crease there to where you kind of make it look like a cut crease without having to do all the extra work. And because it's small, I can get right up here into that inner corner. All right, now we're gonna go in with this really pretty gold shade right here. This is Flower Power, and I'm gonna work that on my inner corner. And I'm gonna go back in with this Morphe M431. Spray my brush. I'm gonna drag that down. See that little point? Really allows me just to place it right there without it getting out of hand. Same shade, same brush. Now I'm going to highlight up here under my brow bone. Now we're gonna go in with this tiny little brush right here from Morphe, and this is the E35. And I'm gonna use this brush to line my upper and lower lash line. I'm gonna go back in with the shade Spicy, have some on the brush, and I'm going to wet the brush because I want this to act as an eyeliner. So this is something you can do if you don't have eyeliner. Just wet your brush and use your shadows that you do have as a liner. But see how this small of a brush can really allow me to get to really tight line. Is the right word. And if I want to thicken it up a little bit, I can most definitely do it with this brush. All right, now for the bottom, I'm gonna go in with Untamed. Same technique, just gonna be on the lower lash line. And I am bringing it all the way in. But you see how up close I can get to my waterline? And just really keeping this shadow really, really tight. All right, guys, so that completes the look for today. What do you guys think? All achieved using these 7 small eyeshadow brushes. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. If you are just starting out with makeup, especially if you're just starting off like with colorful makeup, take it slow. Okay, don't feel overwhelmed by the color. And if you work with smaller brushes, that just means a smaller amount of pigment of shadow is going to be placed on your eye, and it's a smaller amount to work with. So you're taking little baby steps by working with smaller makeup brushes. And the good thing about small makeup brushes, guys, is that they can be used for a wide variety of things. Guys, these small makeup brushes did this entire look, and I probably could have done the entire look maybe just using 4 instead of 7, but I really wanted to showcase these brushes that I genuinely reach for on a regular basis and that have helped me kind of perfect my blending skills a little bit, which by all means they are not perfect, but it also really helps me just place the shadow exactly where I want it. And that is probably the most important thing about working with small brushes, is that you get to work in smaller sections and you really get to pinpoint where you want the shadow to go. Guys, I also want to give a shout out to these other 2 little brushes from e.l.f. This is the concealer brush, which is very similar to the ColourPop one that I used. And then this other one is kind of a slightly larger version of that domed Morphe brush that we use for the lower lash line. This is the e.l.f. crease brush. Both of these super affordable. I would also consider picking these up as well. But guys, I will have them all linked in the description box down below. Some of them you can only get in sets, but the ColourPop set, which is this brush right here, and the BH Cosmetics set, which is this brush right here, they are both on sale right now, or at least they're on sale this week. So I would definitely check out the links I have in the description box. Some of them might be affiliate links. So if you do end up purchasing, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. All right, guys, so that completes today's mini tutorial over my favorite and what I think are essential small eyeshadow brushes. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Do you have some of these brushes? Are you going to be picking them up? Do you think that this video has helped you guys in any way? Please leave me a comment down below. You guys have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.